Plastanium Dust is the highest tier resource in the game that's used to craft the best uniques in the game that can 100% be obtained in the PvE zone in the deep desert. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do it solo. As you can see here, I have two of the best weapons in the game. One is the Ancient Way, which is the best rocket launcher in the game. It takes 10 Plastanium Dust to create. As you can see here, I have enough to create this. In this week, after my first run, I got the best rifle in Dune Awakening, which is the Regis triple shot. The only areas Plastanium Dust can be obtained is in the PvE deep desert zones. Not in the A row, but usually every week there's 1 to 3 buried testing stations, usually in the D zone. This week it's dropping the Regis triple shot rifle. So you're definitely going to want to get in and farm this chest. It refreshes about 45 minutes, I think to an hour. So you could run this once a day if you want, or every 45 minutes. These testing stations are 100% PvE and the loot is not shared, so everybody who participates can get some. And there is no friendly fire. If you want to know where they are this week in the deep desert, go ahead and type in deep desert map and it should usually be the first result. Click on it, open it up, and it'll show you today it is in the D/E zone. There's only one this week, but the loot that is inside of this one is the best since launch. So I'm gonna give you guys 2 ways to complete these testing stations because they can be very, very hard solo. The first way is the easy and fun way. The second way is the hard way. So the easy way is to get into your deep desert and look at the chat. Usually there's people already running them, and if you see somebody running them, feel free to private message them in the deep desert chat and inquire about them, which testing stations they're running. Usually they'll tell you if they're in the middle of it, and at that moment you immediately go there and you jump in. Sometimes somebody will put in my deep desert chat, hey, I'm running this testing station right here, and then a bunch of randos, including me, mob up in there, and we're about 5 and 6 deep, just running the gauntlet, killing all the NPCs with ease. It's very fun, very easy, and like I said, everybody gets loot, and it's a fun cooperative experience. And if nobody initiates that they're running the testing stations, you go ahead and initiate it. Say in the chat, hey, anybody want to run testing stations? Some people might meme you and say, ah, nah, fuck you, dude. Or some people might be like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I'm pulling up right now. There's an instance where I saw some chick, she's like, oh, she just completed a testing station, and she said, and so I private messaged her. I said, hey, are you gonna run another one? She said, no, but I could help you. People are willing to help you, and they just have fun running the testing station. So you'd be surprised at how many other players are just here for the PvE and are okay with just jumping in and helping a brother out. Another instance I had is I saw this one guy announce in the chat that he was running the testing stations. So I DM'd him. I was like, hey, are you running the testing station? He's like, yeah, I'm about to go to this one in D1 right now. He added me as a friend. He added me to his fire team. We were about 4 deep. He added me to the Discord in which I joined, and it was cool. We were just chatting shit, talking. He was a huge Dune fan, having fun, casually killing a bunch of mobs. Each run, once you complete it after you defeated all waves of enemies and loot the chest, it takes about 8 to 10 minutes with a co-op group, maybe even less. In each run, you're going to get about 3 to 9 Plastanium Dust in the chest along with a unique. I got a bunch of sandbike engines, but this week I got the Regis triple shot rifle. Minimum gear requirements so you don't become a liability. For gear, you're going to want all heavy armor, Mark 5 minimum, the mercenary set. If you're struggling to get Mark 5 mercenary set gear, farm the A zone testing stations. They give you a bunch of tier 5 weapons and tier 5 armor, or you could also farm the downships. They give you a bunch of weapons and armor as well, all tier 5. If you can, I recommend you craft a Mark 6 power pack just so your shield can run up, and a Holtzman shield Mark 5 with a full suspender belt, of course. And for weapons, I recommend you bring an adept triple shot rifle, a disruptor pistol, or an adept drill shot. If you want any of these weapons, unfortunately for the disruptor pistol, you're going to have to farm the A zone down ships in the deep desert off peak hours. I've done this and I've got about 2 of them. Probably encountered 2 players. One player ran right past me, didn't even know I was there, and I just bindu sprinted out of there. And another player was too scared to land as I was kind of circling around. I didn't even know if I was going to fight him. I've never been in a PvP engagement, but I kind of just stood outside of the ship until he left, and he did. To farm the triple shot rifle, it's really easy. You just go to the wrecked ship all the way at the bottom left of Sheol in Haga Basin, and you just loot that chest. It is an irradiated zone, so you do not need to bring a radiation suit. And if you're really scared of PvP encounters, just hop to different sieges in your server, sieges that have like 0 active players to where there's no way you would encounter somebody, and you can farm those chests on all those dead sieges to increase your chances and to never run into a PvP encounter. The best PvE melee weapon that you can get is the Jolt Sword. I believe you get the Jolt Sword completing the Swordmaster quest line, and this is my go-to melee weapon for anything PvE or Deep Desert related. If you don't want to do the whole Swordmaster quest line, which I highly recommend you do because the perks are good, you could also check your Calm Exchange in Arakeen or Harko Village and see if they're selling one. So you can also go and get them there if you'd like. So the perks are going to be very important for the co-op run and also very important for the full solo runs. Now, minimum required perks to run these so you don't become a liability. You have multiple ways in which you could attack this. If you want to double down on just the ranged weapons, then go with all the range perks in the Trooper and in the Mentat tree that increase rifle damage and gun damage. Boost all the perks that give you health and poise. And if you want to max melee, which I usually max melee, you're going to want to max the blade damage in the Swordmaster. And I believe there's a long blade damage as well in the Swordmaster that you're going to want to max out, along with all the perks that boost stamina. With this gear and perks, running testing stations, especially with a small group of randos, is going to be so easy and so fun. You're just going to be cashing out every 45 minutes if you please. But if there's nobody on your server or there's nobody online and you want to do a true solo experience, well, it's going to be a lot harder, but it is doable. For the solo run, you're going to have to min-max your perks and min-max your gear. For gear, I recommend you have the Mark 6 Power Pack guaranteed, and you're going to probably want to craft some of the highest tier armor, the Mark 6. The Mark 6 Comb Armor or Chome Armor Heavy is what you're going to want to run, or light, depending on if melee is giving you more trouble or if the shooters are giving you trouble. Trying to solo all the flamethrowers and the Gatling gun guys is a nightmare. So you're going to want to have the best armor available so you're not getting destroyed. And the armor is strong enough to where even if they are blasting a full volley at you when you're downed, you have enough health and protection that you could self-revive and regroup. For weapons, if you don't want to use the Jolt Sword, at this point you could probably craft a Regis Rapier, as it is the fastest attack weapon. It is not the highest damage, but it is the fastest attack weapon for melee. Also run the Adept Triple Shot Rifle or Disruptor Pistol. And I highly recommend you also craft a Regis missile launcher with about half a stack of missiles, so which is about 125. That's a little bit overkill. You really don't need to carry that much, but you never know. As far as the perks go, you pretty much want to max out the stamina perks if you're just going to be going around and meleeing things, or you want to maximize the armor and health perks. What I mean by the health perks is you want to max out the B'nai Gesserit perks that give you max health and max health regen. And you're going to want to get the perks that boost your poise, specifically Prana Bindu Stability. This will have it to where you cannot get staggered. You'll be losing health, but you won't be getting blasted and sitting there stun locked, getting destroyed by Gatling guns and flamethrowers and melee guys. So this perk is an absolute must, especially if you're going to be running solo and running guns. And you're going to want to max out the pistol perks if you're going to be using the Adept Disruptor Pistol, or the rifle perks and gun perks if you're going to be using Triple Shot Rifle. And for the missile launcher, max out the heavy weapon damage perks. It's going to be really good for taking out the heavy guys and the unshielded guys. You're also going to want to bring a crap ton of med kits, probably a stack and a half of the Mark II at least med kits. Now, as far as combat goes, all of the enemies spawn in waves of about 5 waves minimum, and they all come pouring through 2 or 3 different doors at the same time. It'll be a mix of about 2 to 3 melee guys, a flamethrower, a Gatling guy, and a couple of unshielded riflemen. You want to pick a door to watch and immediately start launching missiles at them. Ideally, you want to wait till the heavy shooters start shooting at you before you launch missiles so you can hit them with maximum damage. It takes about 2 to 3 shots to fully kill them, and the splash damage is going to affect all the enemies around them. Be careful with the rocket launcher shooting at these guys, because the splash damage does carry over to you and your shield does go down when you fire it, so you will take damage, so be careful. So as soon as they come through that door, you start launching missiles like a madman. Now when the melee guys start running at you, what you want to do is take cover and you want to isolate them. Isolate the melee guys and take them out with melee, or just spam fire the triple shot at their head until they slowly die. When you're swarmed, you want to kite enemies and isolate them. Kite and isolate. The heavy guys are slow, so you don't got to worry about them. Isolate all the smaller enemies. take them out one by one, keep your distance from the heavies, and shoot missiles at them or spam fire triple shot at them till they die. The absolute last thing you want, and is a surefire way for a death sentence, is to get cornered and stun locked by enemies. By all means, stay moving. Another way you can deal with the heavy guys is to just keep stun locking them with heavy attacks. Watch out for their two main attacks. They'll do a suspender blast, which drains your stamina and slows you down, and they'll also do this melee attack that stuns you for a little bit. So you're going to want to heavy stagger them, do some damage, and dodge when they see the animation when they're about to do any one of those two attacks. As far as the 3 active skills you could use the Sugar Wire Claw to get out and escape from getting cornered and to traverse the map easier, or to even stun lock enemies. You could lose the Flying Knee ability, which also is pretty good at covering distance and stun locking enemies as well. You could use the grenades. You could use the grenades that slow enemies down. You really could use whatever ability you want. The most important thing that matters is the passive perks and the gear that you're using, and your traversal of the map and managing the different enemy types. It may take you a few tries and you may get down and killed, but as long as you have all your gear and all of your 8 slots, you will not lose or drop that gear. You will just drop what's in your backpack. So you may have to run in, pick up your ammo, and run it back. And that's pretty much it. Think of it like a little raid. This testing station is like a test of your gear and skill check. It's a good fun challenge once you get the hang of it. Gets you plenty of Plastanium Dust every 45 minutes. Unfortunately, there's only one this week in the PvE zone. Obviously, if you have balls, you can go to the PvP zones, but between the chests, spawns, I don't recommend it. And there you have it. That is how you get Plastanium Dust consistently. Either assemble a little team or join other people while they're completing it, or min-max your build and your gear and go in there and wreck shop yourself. Good luck, y'all, and subscribe.